Hey guys, welcome back for another video. In the last 6 months, Poshmark has been making a ton of changes, so I wanted to sit down and just go through the changes with you in case you have missed some, and also as a way for us to talk back and forth about our opinions on the changes. I'm going to go over 9 changes, starting with the one that I'm most optimistic about and ending with the one that I think has the most room for improvement. If you guys are clicking on this video and you've never been to my channel before, my name is Amber. I started selling on Poshmark in 2018. I am a reseller, so I buy things at places like the Goodwill Outlet and garage sales and sell them on Poshmark and eBay in my free time. Since then, I have sold over 1,600 items on Poshmark, and I've also purchased over 100 items. Change number 1 is that they changed from USPS priority mail. It used to be $8.27 per sale for anything under 5 pounds. It now is $6.49 per sale, and it ships USPS Ground Advantage. Let's talk about why I'm excited about this change. Last year, in July, USPS announced that they were changing the rates, and they were increasing the priority rates significantly while not changing Ground Advantage very much. This is not Poshmark itself. This is USPS as a whole was changing priority rates and increasing them quite a bit. I imagine Poshmark had to decide either do we take that $8.27 per sale and take it up, let's say they had to go to $9.50, or do we switch to Ground Advantage and we can get a much better deal for our buyers and our sellers. Between those two options, I definitely prefer the $6.50 option, even if Ground Advantage is a couple days slower on delivery. Change number 2, you can now order free shipping boxes in the app. Poshmark used to be everything shipped USPS priority mail, and you could get free priority mail boxes from any post office in the US. Since they switched to Ground Advantage, we can't use the USPS priority boxes anymore. But what you can do is order free Ground Advantage boxes in the Poshmark app. Not only did they change to Ground Advantage, but they were like, we're going to still make sure you guys get free boxes. You just have to go through Poshmark now instead of just being able to go to the post office. If you're curious on how to do that, I will upload a short form video soon on how to do that. Change number 3, again, a really positive change to shipping. Previously, if your package was over 5 pounds, it would cost like $3 or $4 per pound. Now they've changed it that you only have to pay $5 more. If your package is between 5 pounds and 10 pounds, you pay $5 more and you get the heavier label. That's a significant savings. And then change number 4 is related. You can now ship up to 15 pounds on Poshmark. If your package is between 5 and 10 pounds, you pay $5 extra, as I just said. If it's between 10 and 15, you pay $10 extra. And if your bundle weighs over 15, they now have an automated way that you can get an additional label. Previously, I did not list anything that was over 5 pounds on Poshmark. The shipping cost was just too punitive that if my item was over 5 pounds, I just only posted on eBay. So this is a significant change that will result in me posting more stuff onto Poshmark. Okay, we're done with shipping now. Like I said, I'm feeling positive about it. Let me know down below if you also feel positive about the shipping changes or if you disagree. Change number 5 is that they added back bulk sharing. If you guys are new to Poshmark, previously the best way to get your items sold was to share them because they would show up first in any searches if they had been just shared. Now it's kind of a mixed bag. Some searches default to just shared, some default to their algorithm, which they call relevance. Still helpful to share your items, it's just not as helpful as it used to be. Anyways, for a bit, they had taken away bulk sharing. So you had to individually share every single item. Now they've added back bulk sharing, both in the app and on the PC. You can quickly share all of your listings. PSA, real quick, I made a video about this like 6 years ago, but just a quick PSA. Do not share other people's listings. It does not benefit you. It is a waste of time. The most it could do is maybe make someone that you share their listing go and look at your closet. But otherwise, it is not helping that other seller. And don't waste your time. Share your own listings or spend your time listing more items. Change number 6, they've added a hot deal icon to some listings. And I couldn't find anything specifically saying how they decide what's a hot deal. But the implication, and by looking at my own listings, is that they're on items that are priced lower than other similar items on the app. Change number 7, they are closing the wholesale and boutique markets beginning in March. I've never liked these markets, and I'm probably going to make some people mad by saying this. When I started off reselling, I would look through these markets, 2018, 2019, It was all Alibaba, Wish.com, super low end merchandise people had marked up really high. I am glad they're getting rid of this market. We've got 2 changes left, and these 2 are the 2 that I don't feel so positively about. Number 8, Seel returns. Let me just read directly from their blog. Also, if you want to stay up to date, you can read Poshmark's blog. All of these changes are on there, and that is the best way to find out what's going on. Okay, Seel returns. This is what they've said as of January 30th. We're continuously experimenting to improve both the seller and buyer experience on Poshmark. We're excited to share early visibility in some of our featured tests. These may roll out gradually, be available to a limited group, evolve over time, or not launch based on what we learn from community feedback. And then skipping to the Seel returns. And then in parentheses, it says worry-free returns. We're testing a new optional buyer protection powered by Seel, S-E-E-L. This is a buyer-paid add-on at checkout and does not affect the seller's shipping, earnings, or payouts. The short story here is that buyers can now pay extra to be able to return items through Seel if they just change their mind or the item didn't fit, and it doesn't impact sellers at all. The reason I'm putting this into my negatives or I'm not feeling so good about is when I've researched Seel online, all I can find are bad experiences. People on other platforms, not Poshmark, but I guess other services use Seel as well. Again, this is just from forums and things online. So it's not seeing the entire picture, but the little bit of picture I have seen makes me cautious about this change. And then finally, change number 9, we're going to talk about cancellations. Here's what their blog says. We want shoppers to feel confident buying on Poshmark. Reliable order fulfillment and fast shipping help build trust and keep buyers coming back. We're introducing a new policy to encourage timely order fulfillment. Sellers who cancel more than 3% of orders within a rolling 90-day period may see their accounts placed in a restricted state. This excludes buyer-requested cancellations and cancellations for bundling with another order. The short story there is if you cancel over 3% of your orders, there will be a penalty. The YouTuber Rebecca Allison just did a video recently about this herself. I will link her video down below. And my friend Sarah Stiles just recently got restricted because of this. And so she sent all of her communications to me so that I could talk about them in today's video. First, this pop-up is what she got on her screen. It said, confirm order cancellation. Are you sure? You have 4 cancellations in the past 90 days. This excludes bundle orders and buyer requested cancellations. Then after she canceled it, she got notified we've temporarily restricted your Poshmark account due to the following reasons. Multiple unshipped or canceled orders. Then after she responded to them, she got an email that said, thank you for reviewing and agreeing to Poshmark's community guidelines. Your account has been reinstated. Please note that any future unshipped or canceled orders will result in a 14-day restriction on your account. There will be no additional warnings. Repeated violations may lead to permanent suspension of your Poshmark account. So here's why this is on my negative list. This is severe. The consequences here are so severe. A 14-day restriction, no more warnings, and you might get permanently suspended because of this. Okay, let's talk about this. On one end, I am of the opinion, maybe the unpopular opinion, that people are far too loose with canceling on Poshmark. As a buyer, I just checked my app. In my last 10 purchases, 2 of them got canceled. So 1 in 5 orders getting canceling, that's a pretty high rate. Because of these changes, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this, and I'm shocked by how much people cancel orders. I've seen a couple people just openly say that they stopped, keeping track of their Poshmark listings or like really being on top of it because there was no consequence. So then they just didn't prioritize it. I feel positive about that Poshmark is going to make the buyer experience better by not allowing sellers to cancel so much. Now, on the other end, though, as the seller, you need to tell us where we're at. Like, there's nothing in the app that says what cancellation percentage we're at. So if you're going to enforce a penalty, you need to let us know where we are and how close we are to breaking that threshold. Additionally, it seems like the consequences are pretty severe. eBay also has a cancellation threshold. I think it is also 3%. In this section of the video, I said that I thought that eBay's threshold was also 3%. In other words, you cannot cancel more than 3% of sales without having a consequence. I was wrong. It is 0.5%. And that includes both items you cancel and cases that are open that have no seller resolution. So if you have 0.5% or less, you can be top rated. In between 0.5 and 2%, you could be above standard. Anything below 2%, you get rated as below standard on eBay. But if you do, your account gets changed, I believe, to below standard, and your visibility gets reduced until you bring up that cancellation rate. But you don't get completely taken off the platform. You just get reduced visibility. One, there needs to be a way for sellers to know where they're at. And two, the consequence seems pretty harsh, especially right out the gate, not really giving time for people to adjust to the change. Final two things are changes that they've talked about in their blog that are coming. Number one, inactive listings. My gosh, it is time for this. They said, we've heard buyers' frustrations when they make an offer and receive no response or a purchased item never ships. To improve the buyer experience, we'll be testing ways to address inactive listings on the platform while benefiting sellers who keep their listings active and up to date. I did a survey in 2020. 1,200 of you, thank you guys, answered the survey. It was all about Poshmark from the buyer's perspective, from the seller's perspective. And the number two most common change that buyers wanted was to deactivate listings for accounts that have not logged in for some period of time. This was in 2020, so almost 6 years ago. I'm very happy to see them directly say that they are working on this. Again, from a buyer's perspective, when you order things and you never hear anything, and then you just have to wait for it to eventually be canceled, it's not a good experience. Often when I'm looking through listings, I don't buy listings because I can tell that they're inactive. How can I tell? Because there's people commenting, asking them if the item's still available, asking them when they're going to ship, and clearly the buyer's not responding. So I know, although it shows active, that buyer is not active. I'm happy to see that they are planning to make changes. What they will do, we will see hopefully soon. And then the last thing is they've said, you've asked for more visibility into how your listings perform. Later this quarter, we're introducing listing level data so you can understand which items are getting the most interest, allowing you to spot trends in your closet and better manage your business. I'm imagining here it's going to be something like eBay where you can see how many people view your item. But again, we shall wait and see. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Here's a video you might find interesting. And stay tuned because I'll have a new video out soon.